Lesson 8. The use of lists. The limitation of using variables is they only store one item of data at any one time. An array, which is called a list in Python, is a data structure that can store many items of data. This data can then be viewed, manipulated and accessed. As with variables, an item in a list can be the data type string, integer, float or boolean. This is a list of fruits. In this case, each item has a data type string. The index is used to locate the position of the item in the string. Banana is at the location 0 and pear is at the location 2. Here is the same list in Python. As you can see here, we have a print statement here which says print fruits square brackets 0. What this will do is it will print the first item in the list. So if we run this program now, it will print banana. So to print, say for example, strawberry, then we'd look at 0, 1, 2, 3 in the list. So we'd have to put 3 here. And in this case now, if we run the program again, it will print strawberry. It is possible to select a particular section of the list. This is called slicing. Slicing lets you look at particular items in the list. So for example, in this particular case, we run this module, we can see banana, apple and pear are the ones that have been selected because 0 is banana, 1 is apple and 2 is pear. It stops before the final number. So if we try another one, if we start at 1 and go to 2, this time we get apple, which is the second item on the list. We can also use a colon with no number at the other end to indicate we would like to go to the end of the list. So in this particular case, we'll go from 0, 1 from pear to the end of the list. So let's just run that one. And it goes from pear, strawberry, orange. As you can see, this takes us to the end of the list. We can also concatenate lists. In other words, take two lists and join them together. In this example, we have a list of fruits and a list of vegetables. We can use fruit and veg as a third list to join these two lists together. So fruits and veg are added together there and made into a single list, which we then display. Let's just run the program. And you can see here quite clearly we have the two lists here all as a single list. As well as concatenating lists, we can also sort lists, and here's an example of that now. This time we've got two lists of numbers. We have a list called X and a list called Y. We can add those two lists together to get another list which is called Z. We can then display that particular list. We can also sort it by using a sort command here. Let's see it run. You can see the first list here is an unsorted list and the second list is the sorted list. It's also possible to add an item to a list, or as it's called, append it to the list. Here we have a list of names, Teresa, Alana and Robert. We can then display that list of names here in the second line of code. We can also append to it, so we can add a new name to the list. In this case we're going to add the name James to the list. So let's just run the program. And as you can see, you get the first list there with the names that were originally on the list, and then you get the second list with the name James, which has now been appended to that second list. In some cases you need to insert an item to a particular position in the list. Here we have a list of names, and rather than appending to the list, we're going to actually insert a name, James, the same as before, into the list at a particular location. In this case the location is 1, so it would be after the first item in the list. So let's just run the program. And you can clearly see here that the name James has been inserted after position 0 in position 1 in the list. You may also wish to remove an item from a list. In this case we have our list of names and we wish to remove the name Robert from the list. As you can see, we just use the word remove in this particular case and it does the job for us. So let's just run the program. And as you can see, the name Robert is no longer in the list. We've still got the two names Teresa and Alana, which are still in the list. It's also useful to find the length of a list. Finding the length of a list is similar to finding the length of a string. So here we have list 1. You can see it consists of 10 numbers there, and we say here display or print the length of list 1, and then we use the word len to actually identify that we want to know the length of that particular list. We do the same with the second list here, Teresa, Alana and Robert, and that list is 3 items long, and we can do the same thing and use len there to find out the length of that particular list. So let's run this program, and we find that in this case the first list is 10, the second is 3. It's also possible to find out if an item is actually in a list. This time we use if. So if the name Robert is in the list names, then it will print found, else it will print not found. So let's run this program, and we find that Robert is in the list and it's been found. In some cases it's useful to be able to reverse the order of a particular list. So here's our list with Bobby, Alana and Chris in the list. We're first going to sort the list by using .sort, and then we're going to display the list, and then we're going to actually use the reverse function here, names.reverse, and that will reverse the order of the list and then display it again. Let's see how it goes. So you can see here we have the 2 lists. We have the first list and the second list, which is now reversed.